live from Agaitika territory out in the Walker River Paiute tribe. Agaitika means trout eaters. Na ahoba shinami na Agaitika, which is strong thinker is my name. Na tabonania, Myron Dewey. And this is an update. The update is Peehee-muha. Peehee-muha is the update today. Peehee-muha, or also documented as Thacker Pass, is the update. Tomorrow's donation run will be leaving Schurz. We'll be stopping in Fallon, Nevada, the smoke shop, 9 o'clock. Then shooting over to Lovelock Paiute Tribe. We'll be at the tribal hall for about an hour. Just as Fallon will be an hour, Lovelock will be an hour, and then we'll shoot down to Winnemucca and be there for an hour. And then whatever supplies we get, we'll be at Walmart. We will head straight over to Peehee-muha, or also known as Thacker Pass. It is a long drive. It's about a 3.5, 4-hour drive. Thacker Pass, Peehee-muha. Thacker Pass is named after a sheriff, turn of the century. Peehee-muha is the name by the Red Mountain people, which means rotten moon. And the story behind that is the soldiers had murdered a lot of the tribal members up there in that area at the turn of the century. Yeah, I believe in the mid 1800s, and opened them up and put their insides on the bushes, which was during a full moon, which is the name called Peehee-muha. And so it's got that name, and it kind of reminds me that our ancestors are speaking in ways that we did not know it was possible, just like the boarding school area, arena, and surroundings that are the children are speaking in ways we never ever thought was possible. That is happening. Our ancestors are speaking. And so we're going to bring attention to this area. It's traditional medicines, traditional hunting. The local farmers don't want it there. And what is being proposed is a 30 to 100 year lithium mine. And, as we moved into this generation of fossil fuel, with no DAPL, and also, stop line 3, the higher ups, the politicians are shooting for the Green New Deal. And, I first got wind about this mine last year, about what was going on over there and its proposed place. And I was just kind of like not too sure, because I get a lot of messages sent to me about things that are happening around Indian country. And it's important to always do your due diligence, do your homework on the area, do your homework on the permits, look at if it's BLM, public lands, Forest Service lands, the traditional names of these areas, the local indigenous people that are there. Are they up on the issue? Are they aware of what's happening? Are they wanting it, or are they stopping it? The medicines, the natural law, all those things that are being threatened. So you have to do, just your homework. And really also, is it the capacity that you may or may not have to put the energy into going there and holding space? That time takes away from your family, takes away from the work that you're doing. And this is a lot of this work. This work is a labor of love for the earth, the unborn, labor of love for the natural law, and protecting the sacred, our ancestors that are in these places. And when I think about, even on the roads, and as we go down towards Peehee-muha, these roads are on our trails. That's why many Americans just don't recognize where did the indigenous people walk here? How come there's no trails and that they're on all those trails have major highways on them now, and major cities are where there was strong gatherings and abundance at one time of food sources, medicines, water, clean water. So there is a transition that we're moving into right now that we're seeing happening here in Nevada. And I'm really hoping that our tribal members here, don't feel helpless. There's so much you can do as keyboard warriors. There's things you can do as tribal members to get your council to pay attention to these things. And it's important that we start electing, the leaders that represent us, the IRA leaders that represent us. We start figuring out what is it we want represented. Do we want them to protect the natural law? Do we want them to uphold inherent rights, sovereignty, um, these traditional harvesting areas, these sacred sites, the traditional medicines, the water? I mean, there's so much that goes into um, being a tribal leader. There's also, though, the grassroots. We call them the Poinabi. Now, the tribal leaders are not Poinabi. They are an elected IRA uh, government that is not recognized as a Poinabi is someone that leads the people, communicates with the people in a way where they don't over harvest their areas. We haven't moved in these areas outside of it for. So once you get your home, that's where you plant. Just like in Western culture, the place gets colonized in that spot. Whatever is around it no longer will exist if it comes to the natural law, unless you're harvesting and planting. Peehee-muha. Tomorrow, we're going to head up there. We're going to take those stories, take that knowledge. We got a relative up there already in the camp. We've got a camp, and we got a tent from One Nation. You guys may know One Nation has been, there's the military tent we got going on. It's going to be used as our our kitchen up there. So I'm really excited that that's there. That's another one. Oh, well, it's kind of buried in my truck here. Um, the solutions we're looking at here. One of them is wash basin stations. We're going to pick up a couple of things, but we're going to create where two buckets are put together. One is for the gray water, one is for the clear water. And we're going to go to the dollar store and get 4 bowls, drill a hole through them, mount them, and then we'll run a dollar store wire up to the top, some zip ties, and a little pump station. The pump station is to release um, water so you can have a no touch. And so there's a few ways that I've seen this done. I've seen this also done with 5-gallon, but this is how we're going to do it with these buckets. Stack them on top of each other, and when there's no longer water pumping, your gray water is full. You just go dump it. And we got some soap, water, and then the donations on our run. We're going to head up. But I really encourage our tribal members to ask questions about what's going on up there. And I understand that many of our tribal members don't understand these frontline actions and what does it take, because they've never been really at those areas. But I kind of always feel in our own homelands, here, the Walker Paiute tribe has a prison of war camp number. We know what it's like in the front line when you cross into county lines or at the turn, with high patrols and the militarization here. We kind of have an idea, but maybe we're desensitized. And the mining and corporations here that are foreign corporations in our homelands, mining for not just lithium, but gold, silver, platinum, even our traditional medicines. We call it pijapi, which is, um, no, there's 2 medicines we have here, and one of them is being used in your everyday common products, such as baking soda, as well as toothpaste and many other household items. But for us, it's used to cleanse us and do a little detoxing. And you just put a little bit of water and a little bit of teaspoon in, and that's it. And these are the medicines that we're seeing getting harder and harder for our people to go and harvest, to go pray and get. And it's not being used as much as we would like it to be used here in our homelands, in our local homelands, mind you. So any questions you may have about tomorrow, what to bring, we put a list of items, which are women's products, um, gas cards, because they're 68 miles from from the nearest town. And time to go. Got to get some rest. Leaving first thing in the morning, and the list is on digital smoke signals, as well as my Facebook page, and I'll post it also on Instagram. If you can't make it, another way to support is through PayPal, and we can leave those donations there. And also to the Peehee-muha website is a great place to go and send your support. But right now we're going to make a donation run, and we possibly will make 2 runs when we get there. We'll come back. It'll be a 2-hour turnaround time, but we're willing to do it and then get more supplies that we need, because we're kind of running out of room. The kitchen tent, which is I'm very excited to be able to take up. That's from First Nation, or One Nation. Sorry about that, One Nation. And thank you guys for your support, brothers, sisters out there, and sending a lot of strong blessings up to my relatives in line 3. Napija tumia, nanishta napija yarawa. Good thoughts, good words, bija mogoy, good spirit. Bija.